Tashdile, this is Sakina Bhatt and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye and Speaker of the Tibetan Parliament in exile congratulate US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on re-election. CTA President welcomes the enactment of Asia Reassurance Initiative Act. A year in review, Tibet at the UN in 2018. Tibetan Parliament in exile hosts gala dinner to thank the members of the Indian Parliament. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye and Speaker of the Tibetan Parliament in exile, Pema Jungne, congratulated Honorable Nancy Pelosi on her re-election as the Speaker of the US Congress. His Holiness thanked Speaker Pelosi for a personal friendship and for her loyal and unwavering support in the past decades to the just cause of the Tibetan people. Your friendship, support and solidarity during this most difficult period in Tibet's long history have been a source of hope, inspiration and strength in our enduring and challenging quest for justice and freedom. Dr. Singye expressed his admiration and applauded Nancy Pelosi for being a fearless leader. President Dr. Singye said, "Your victory is the victory of people in Tibet and people around the world who are denied their basic human rights." In his congratulatory remarks, Speaker Pema Jungne said, "I take this opportunity to thank you very much for your unwavering support and commitment towards the just cause of Tibet in the past many decades." Speaker Pelosi is a staunch supporter of the Tibet cause and a fierce advocate of peace and non-violence. According to DalaiLama.com, the official website of the Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader's teaching in the new year will begin this February. On Tuesday this week, CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye hailed the enactment of the Asia Reassurance Initiative Act, saying that the passage is a much welcomed move. US President Donald Trump signed the act into law on 31st December 2018, having passed the Senate and the House on 4th and 12th December respectively. President Dr. Singye thanked the US Congress for passing the Asia Reassurance Initiative Act, which references Tibet in terms of supporting activities preserving cultural traditions and promoting sustainable development, education and environmental conservation in the Tibetan communities in the Tibet Autonomous Region and in other Tibetan communities in China, India and Nepal. The lead sponsors of the act, Senators Cory Gardner and Ed Markey, said that the act ensures that the US will continue to support Tibet by authorizing funds for Tibet-related programs and by highlighting Chinese human rights abuses against the Tibetan people. From the Universal Periodic Review to a scrutiny by the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, China's clampdown on the fundamental rights and freedoms of Tibetans was uncovered at the UN this past year. The Tibet Bureau Geneva has released a report titled "A Year in Review, Tibet at the United Nations in 2018", documenting all activities relating to Tibet advocacy at the UN in the year 2018. Despite China's growing influence at the UN, 2018 saw some of the most powerful countries in the world call on China to end the continued repression of the Tibetan people and to comply with its international human rights commitments. The European Union, which has a permanent observer status, also urged China to respect the rights of the Tibetans and release human rights defenders like Tashi Wangchuk, who were peacefully practicing their constitutionally protected rights. Moreover, in its concluding observations, CERD found that Tibetans are subjected to systematic discrimination in all walks of life due to the Chinese government's policies and practices and recommended it to revise its regulations and practices to end the discriminatory system. The Tibetan Parliament in exile organized a dinner get-together in honor of the members of the Indian Parliament at Shangri-La Eros Hotel in Delhi on Sunday this week. The event is being organized to express gratitude to the members of the Indian Parliament for receiving the Tibetan parliamentary delegation and for relentlessly supporting the Tibetan cause. During the advocacy tour from 3rd to 5th January, the Tibetan parliamentary delegation has met 235 Indian parliamentarians of both the houses. Deputy Speaker Acharya Yeshi Phinsok welcomed the members and briefed about the establishment of All-Party Indian Parliamentary Forum for Tibet in 1970. So much for this week. See you next time and have a great weekend.